Welcome back here today on the beautiful campus of Florida Panhandle Technical College. Another in our series of what's going on in the community. And the old Chinese curse is, may your life be interesting. I think everybody in Northwest Florida can agree that over the past year, Hurricane Michael and other various events taking place, our lives have definitely been interesting. However, we are 850 strong, and today we have Sunland Center with us, Maria Johnson and James Godwin, to talk about their upcoming fall festival. If you're a regular viewer of the show, you've certainly seen these same people on the show talking about their upcoming event each and every year, except last year. And there were many fall events that were canceled, rescheduled, or simply went away because of the storm. When we come back, we're going to talk to Maria and James about all of the really fun stuff they've got planned. There's a lot of changes in this year's event. If you're going to attend, you probably need to find out a little about it, change the location slightly. The parking is going to be a little bit different. That's all to the good, and we're going to let James and Maria explain all that when we come back, and we will be right back. Welcome back. As mentioned, our guests today are Maria Johnson and James Godwin from Sunland Center. You guys have been through a lot. Excuse my phone ringing there in the background.
That's okay.
We're at the beginning of the school year, and thankfully we've got students coming from all directions. But you guys have had an interesting year. You just 8-9 months ago had Hurricane Michael come right through your front door. You were basically ground zero in Marietta. And because of that, it caused a lot of heartburn, I'm sure, in your lives, but not the least of which was that your fall festival went away. Now, you could argue that, that's not life-changing, we're not going to have our festival, but it's truly amazing how many people participate from without Sunland, certainly within Sunland. That's an all-hands-on-deck, and the community as a whole looks forward to that event. Maria, talk a little bit about how that storm has impacted the festival in general, and what kind of changes you expect to see this year.
Well, the biggest impact is that the environmental park is not quite ready for our festival to be located in it. So we're going to position it behind the gymnasium in our sports area where there's a ball field, a big track, and we hope that it's going to be just as great of an event, really. It's just not going to be in the park this year.
Yeah, and sometimes change is good. James, when I talked to Beth on the phone the other day, she mentioned that you did have a change in venue. It's not that far, but in some people's lives, it may cause some concern because they're not going to be able to park where they usually park. They're not going to be able to go in the entrance that they go in. Talk a little bit about where physically you are going to be located compared to the old environmental park location.
Normally people would actually walk when they park outside of the environmental park, you got an extra 200 to 300 feet. But what we're going to do, though, we're working with some local civic organizations, and we're working on shuttles. And the possibility to be able to shuttle 12 to 15 people in each vehicle. So that's going well right now. And so we're going to have some other avenues to assist the public with shuttles so they don't have to walk as far.
Gotcha.
But I do encourage them to get there early, because the vans will fill up fast. So
well, it's always been a case where you needed to get there early anyway, unless you wanted to walk a ways. And the thing of it is, when you guys kick off with the parade, it's nonstop, and it's not that long of an event. And I applaud you for that. Many times people try to make an 8 or 10 hour event out of something. In reality, by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you guys are pretty well wound down.
Winding down.
We as a country, certainly we as a state, certainly we as Northwest Florida are strong and resilient. This is not the first storm that's come through here. No. It's arguably the worst one. National Weather Service finally upgraded it to a Category 5. No doubt it's been the worst one. What I take away is positive from that. You see stories of heroism. You see stories of giving. You see stories of selflessness. That all kind of sums up what you do at Sunland every single day. So I think that's a good segue to talk a little bit about the fact that you guys give so much back to the community every day, but I understand that you're doing something special this year to do just that and give back to the community. Talk a little bit about that. With the canned goods, is it?
Yes, that is going to be our fuel program, Faith Used in Everyday Life, and the residents are going to be located in the festival, and we encourage people to bring canned goods to donate, and then we will, at the end of the day, lock everything up, and first of the week we will donate it to a local food bank.
Well, I know Beth Bassford, your Director of Communication and Marketing for Sunland Center, is going to come on in the next segment and expound on that program, but I think it bears at least mentioning. If I want to go to an event at that time of year, the fall is our busiest season in Northwest Florida. There's fall festivals. Every church, every organization has an event. Yours is arguably the largest event, and nobody takes anything away from that. But if I just need that little bit of push, I just need that little extra incentive to come, and I know that you're doing that program, that may just be enough for me. James, talk about a little bit about what we might see at your event. I know there's just too much to mention and you're going to leave something out. Talk a little bit about the average person. It's my first time there. What am I going to see?
I'll tell you, a person that never been to the festival before, you almost think it's a fair. All right, and the reason why I say that, in our county, we don't have a fair. So we tapped into a company that comes in, bringing bounce houses, zip line, bull rides, train rides, all those different activities for the kids to participate in. Because normally at a festival, you walk around, you look at the booths, you get some food, you buy,
spend money.
You spend money, but there's nothing there, for the kids to do. So a couple years back, we tapped into some resources. So it almost looked like a fair, and at the same time, you can go get a turkey leg or some popcorn or buy your wife a ring or a dress or whatever you want. But we approximately have 75, 80 vendors plus. So we're looking to have a good turnout. Things are going well, and we're expecting, the community support.
Your vendors are not going to want me to say this, but literally you can come and not spend a penny. There's no admission charge, and you can have a great day without spending a penny. Now, that doesn't mean you're not going to want to buy some food. You're going to want to, like you say, all those vendors, you can't hardly get out of there without spending money.
Absolutely.
And it's a great kickoff to the Christmas gift-giving season.
Absolutely.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Plus, you've got multiple stages, all kinds of entertainment. Is Royce Reagan going to be providing some entertainment this year again?
Of course, Royce is going to be there. Now, this year we won't have multiple, all right, due to the storm, of course. But
Gotcha.
we will have one main stage. And the main stage will have Riverside Beaver Course. Our local school.
Right.
They have a great course for the kids. They'll be out. Royce Reagan and his band, they're going to come and rock the house.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of Royce. We love you, Royce. And also Trinity Baptist Awaken, they have a great group that's going to come out and give us some selection. So we'll have, along also with our residents, we have.
That's huge.
I'm
Yes,
telling
it
you,
is.
we got a couple guys that can dance like Michael Jackson and sing like Kenny Rogers. So
And that seems to be some of the crowd favorite as well. Many people don't know what Sunland is, what you do, even where you are if you've never visited. Our firm has had the opportunity to spend some time with you. We've gone down to Cape San Blas and to, I think it was, what was the camp, the burn camp?
Burn camp,
The
yes.
burn camp we went to. We have been in touch with Rusty Roberts from the Tallahassee Fire Department, who's now retired, and he's actually invited us to come down when they do the next Camp Amigo, was it?
yes.
Yeah,
Correct.
and that's huge. So a lot of people don't really understand. We're going to go into detail more with Beth when she comes on, but give me just an overview. You deal with the arts and crafts and the artsy stuff, Maria. Talk a little bit about what your program is as far as the residents are concerned.
Well, it's a community, residential setting, and my program, I have use of the former library. It's called The Hub, and I teach a formal art class on Thursdays, and we do all sorts of things from mask making, paint pouring. We have actually had some shows in the community at the bank building in downtown Marietta.
Yeah, that was, the year before last, or did you do it?
Yes,
Yeah.
And it was very successful. And just try to offer opportunities for the people that reside there. They are certainly entitled to have as much available for them as we do.
We've been attending, our staff has, and we've taken literally tens of thousands of pictures of your event. It only took a year or two, and many of the residents were calling me by name and welcoming me. And now, 5, 6 years, 7 years maybe into it, I look forward to, and I see them and they catch my eye and they come running over and give me a hug. It's it's truly a familial setting. It's a warm, fuzzy feeling. The event is not your county fair, James. You're exactly right. It's like a homecoming. It's really more like a homecoming. I see the same families who have family members as residents at Sunland. So again, what's that date?
October 26th.
It's always the last
Saturday in October.
So just prior to Halloween. Anything else that we need to add, James? Anything we may have forgotten to mention? I know there's a million things, but anything that comes to mind?
We do have room for vendors. All right, and if you want to be a vendor, you call 850-482-9373. Ask for Maria Johnson. And I encourage you to get there for the vendors. Get there at 6 a.m. The gates will be open. Parade will kick off at 9 a.m. and we'll flow from the parade right on to the festival. So we're looking to have a great turnout.
The weather has been all over the charts for that event too. Sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's downright cold.
Sometimes it's raining.
Right.
Yeah, and I've seen very few rainy days, but there have been some. But you know, that part of October, you just never know what you're going to get.
Never know what you're going to get.
It's early in the morning. I really appreciate you guys taking the trip all the way from Marianna, Florida. Oh, yeah. Our hearts have been with you since the start. I am so glad to hear that you're recovering as Sunland Center. Certainly Marianna, the greater Marianna area, coming back strong, and our hearts remain with you as you go through that process. James, good to see you as always.
Thank you.
Maria, thank you so
much.
We
appreciate
for everything that you guys do. Look forward to seeing you on the 26th of October,
Wonderful.
Saturday.
Yes, sir.
For how many years is this?
40.
It's the 40th Fall Festival.
Join us for the 40th annual Sunland Center Fall Festival, October 26th in Marianna, Florida. That telephone number, if you want to be a vendor, is on the screen right now. Thanks again for being here.
Thank you,
Thank
Paul.
you.
We'll be right back.